So the types of errors you can get in your JavaScript code typically are syntax or logic errors. So syntax to me are a little easier to find because basically there's a set of rules that you need to follow when you're writing code. And if you break one of the rules, you have a syntax error. Okay? And typically in JavaScript, what that means is that it's not displaying what you expect it to display. And you need to press F12 or on a laptop, FN and F12 to get into that little developer panel so you can figure out what the error is. Logic errors are a little harder to find. Basically, the program is running, but the results are not what you would expect. And the best way to avoid these types of errors is to write down some pseudocode or an algorithm that kind of works through the logic. And I will give you an example of a logic error. Let me open up my notepad here. So if I was going to do an algorithm for getting ready in the morning, and I had hit snooze, that's typically what I'll do if it's too early. Turn off alarm. And then let's say I eat breakfast. Actually, I drink coffee. Eat breakfast. Get dressed. Shower. And drive to work. All right. So looking at this, there is a logic error in my procedure to get ready. So hitting the snooze first is fine. Turning off the alarm is okay. Got to get the coffee. Eating breakfast is okay. The problem comes in down here. So if I get dressed and then I take a shower and I go to work, I'm going to arrive at work wet. That would be a logic error. Okay, so the correct order would be for me to shower first and then get dressed. Okay, and then drive to work. Okay, so programming problems are very similar. Usually it's a logic error is things are not in the right order. They're not doing what you think they're going to do. So if you write out in English what the program is doing, that often helps you find the error. So for debugging, in almost all of the browsers, you pretty much have to press the F12 key. And that gets you into the developer console, and then you can find the error. Okay, on laptops, you quite often have to press FN while you're pressing F12, but you still can get into that developer window. Okay, and as you work with JavaScript, you are going to get pretty good at debugging. And you should always test your code in multiple browsers, but when you're debugging, it's helpful to primarily work in one or two because they don't display the errors the same way. Okay, they don't use the same phrasing. So if you become familiar with Chrome and Firefox, those are two pretty good ones for figuring out what the error is. And again, if you guys run into errors and you cannot figure them out, make sure you have transferred your pages to the web and then throw me an email and I'll take a look because I'm pretty good at figuring out those problems.